Hello and welcome to VLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session 7 of Human Resource Management, Job Description and Job Evaluation. Topics to be covered: Introduction, Job Description, Characteristics of Good Job Description, Use of Job Description, Job Specification Information, Uses of job specification, definition of job evaluation, objectives of job evaluation, methods of job evaluation, principles of job evaluation program, job evaluation process, and how to improve job evaluation. Now in this session, we were actually going to have an understanding about the job evaluation also. In session 6, we got the understanding about job analysis. Job analysis gives us the idea about the job description and job specification. In this session, we were actually having a detailed understanding of it. What exactly job description, job specification, what are the importance of them, how we will going to collect them, and yes, at the same time, how we will going to evaluate the job. So the objective of a job evaluation is just to rank and price the job rather than the job holder. Yes, this is the one of the very essential thing. That means you have to rank, you have to give the prize to the job rather than the job holder. Evaluation is concerned with assigning the value of a job in relation to the another, for it is only when each job has properly evaluated then a sound compensation structure can be built. And the fundamental concept of job evaluation is to be able to objectively assess the worth of the job with respect to the skills and capabilities that are required to be executed. So this is very essential element to understand the concept of the person, or we can say that the job holder, job in the organization. Why this is important? To understand the job evaluation criteria, how it's going to be judged by the other, what exactly going to be taken care. So at a very previous level, we were going to discuss about the job description. What is job description? Job description is about describing the job. So it is a list that a person might use for the general task, for the function and responsibilities of position. So job description is a list that a person might use for very general activities. Job descriptions are very usefully narrative, but some may instead the compromises a simple list of the competency. So they are always related to understanding the securities of the human resource planning method or methodologies. They were understanding the methods to be performed and may be used to develop a competency architecture for an organization, from which the job description are built in a short list of the competency. So that is just to understand that what are the factors to be considered while defining the job, general task and function and responsibilities of position. At the same time, a job description is a brief description about the job and designed by the employer of the employee. Now, what are the good job descriptions, or we can say what are the characteristics of good job description? We get the understanding that job description is all about understanding the job. So in a very first characteristic of job description, the first is set the stage of orientation and training, provides a way to match the skill, experience and talent of a new employee with the position requirement. So it is always to understand that how you are going to match the skills, match the experience, match the talent of the employee with the position required. By judging the person's skills, by judging the person's experiences, person's learning, and comparing those learnings with the jobs or the factors to be required, this is the one way to get the good job description. So in that case, you can have a good characteristic. Another is a good job description allow you to competitively compare your salary and benefit packages to the market. It is always help to bring out the compatibilities and yes, bringing out the better benefits and better packages. Then Job descriptions are critical for the performance management. It is very critical for the performance management to perform in a very essential and critical manner. A good job description forms the basis of hiring plans. So it is always there to hire the different plans also. Now, what are the uses of job description? The first one is identify the duty of position. That is the first thing. Understand what are the duties. Another is organize the work effectively, bringing out the efficiency in the work. Assigned in identifying the employee's training. Assign the work and task. At the same time, evaluating and defining the employee's performance and expectation. Serve as a recruitment tool. Avoid the potential out of cycle class. At the same time, provide the defensible tool while documenting the employee's performance issue. So, while understanding organization में employees की performance को जज करने के लिए, class की situation को जज करने के लिए, recruitment tools के अंदर, at the same time performance को evaluate करने के लिए, training needs को समझने के लिए, supervise करने के लिए, duties को define करने के लिए, इन सब चीज़ों के लिए job description की ज़रूरत पड़ती है. Now, what is job specification? It is a statement of the employee's characteristic and qualification required for satisfactory performance of defined duty and task comparing a specific job or a function. तो in that case, जब एक employee का के characteristics को define किया जाता है, उसकी qualification को define किया जाता है, and yes, at the same time, उसकी past duties and tasks को देखा जाता है कि वो current job या offered job की duties and tasks से कैसे manage करते हैं. So in that case, a job specification is a statement of minimum acceptable human qualities. They are very necessary to perform a job satisfactory. So FLIPO basically, yes, it's all about that. The job specification is all about with the job holders. So job specification is a statement of minimum acceptable human qualities, very necessary to perform a job satisfactorily. What are the factors which are considered by the job specification? If we talk about the job specification, so what are the considerations? First, job title and designation. Another is the qualification of a person. Another is physical attribute of a person. Then physique and mental health of a person. Special attributes and availabilities. Mature and dependability. Relationship of that job with other jobs. So this is always related to the job specification. Job specification basically get the information from the various sources. So the first one is the physical specification. It basically include the performance of qualities or psychology, physical capacity that may vary from job to job. So in that case, physical capacity may varies. And yes, at the same time, mental specification, that is what mental ability. When in the physical specification, it's more towards strength, it's more towards hard work. Mental specification is more towards concept work, brain work, smart work. So it basically includes the ability to perform automatically, and yes, at the same time calculating to not to interpret the data and information blueprinted. So that is comes into the mental specification. Then another is emotional and social specification. There are very much related to the society. That means what we have in a society and what we want. Emotional stability, social abilities, personal appearances. These are things required in the information. Then another is behavioral specification. It is very much related to the behavioral part of the job. That is, it is the concept of understanding the candidate on the basis of their behavior, on the basis of their learnings through this behavior. So this specification seeks to describe the act of manager rather than the traits, though they are never enterprise, or we can say that more emphasize on the trait of the person. It's always there to look on the behavioral, creative side, research side, teaching ability, manufacturing, conclusion, self-reliance, dominance. So these are all required in behavioral specification. Now the uses of job specification. First, specification usage. Preliminary screening. Yes, in the preliminary screening it always help. Then it help in due justification of each job. If it's required to justify the job, we require specification. Designing, training and development, we required job specification. Supervising and monitoring them, required specification. While evaluating the job, required specification. And yes, at the same time, at the time of promotions, transfer, getting extra benefits, required specification. Now job evaluation. Job evaluation is a very systematic process, and it always help in analyzing and evaluating the jobs, just to determine the relative worth of a job in the organization, how much worthy the job is. So rate the job, determine the position of the job in the hierarchy, whether that job into the higher level or into the lower level. Just to understand this kind of in a job, it's always required the job evaluation. So it is a very systematic method for essential jobs and requirement of such a skill, experience and responsibilities. Objectives of job analysis. The very first objective of job analysis is to determine the position and place of a job in the organization hierarchy. That is a very first objective. Define the position, define the place of the job. At the same time, associate job responsibility and authority with the job, because that is what helping into assigning the hierarchical position of a job in the organization. So it always help to give the understanding about the responsibilities and authorities. Measures the employee satisfaction with respect to the compensation. It's always there to help them or measure the satisfaction and compensation of the job, how we are going to compensate the job, and mean complete and accurate data relating to the description and specification of the various job is the maintaining that data and descriptions. Now what are the techniques of job evaluation? There were two techniques of job evaluation: quantitative technique and non-quantitative technique. If we talk about the quantitative techniques are more towards the help of facts, help of figures, and non-quantitative are more towards the, or we can say that it's related to the non-quantitative parts, qualitative, skill-based. So that is what the two difference. Quantitative was divided into two parts: point rating method, and another is factor comparison method, whereas non-quantitative is divided into ranking method and job classification. Quantitative method is all about to rate according to the quantity. So two methods are there. First is point rating method. What is point rating? That is to provide them a point scaling. That is the point rating method. It's developed to evaluate the job. So the different steps in the point rating methods are done. It determines the job factors and compensability factor. That is the first factor, to determine the job factor. What are the criteria, what are the factors to be understood. So jot down all that factor, then finally determine all the sub factors, that one characteristic and how it's going to help the other sub factors of that. After that, determine the degree statements of profile statement. Assign the point of the factor, that is you assign the degree 1 to 5 or degree you decide. After assigning that degree, you're going to point it out, assign the point to the factors and sub factors and degrees. And then finally preparation of a chart, and then finally applying the point system. So this is what all the techniques of job evaluation. This is the full-fledged technique and how the point rating technique was done. So first step is what? Jot down all the factor, then sub factor of that, then finally the degree statement, assign the point, prepare a chart and apply the point statement. This is how it's look. These are the job factors: knowledge, effort, responsibility, job condition, and yes, at the same time maximum points you defined. The sub factor in knowledge, experience, initiatives, you have to rate them in these points. Then efforts, physical and mental, responsibility towards company, towards co-worker, towards customer, job condition, working condition and hazardous. The total point is 1000. So this is what you assign these point to the job. So that is the first method, point comparison. Then second is factor comparison method. That is, you have to compare all the factors in the factor comparison method. It is given by the E.J. Benge. So the key job representative of the various level or grades are ranked factor by factor. So according to the factor by factor, grades are ranked, and a scale of pay and money value is prepared. So the sum of a value of each factor is taken to the money value of the job. So we can see that these all are the factors. Compensation was given according to these factors. In inventory control specialist, hourly basis we are going to pay this much. For this much. So that is according to the hour basis, according to the job nature, we define the compensation. So that is what the part, the sum of the values of each factor is taken by a money value of a job. So we have to consider the money value of a job. So sum of each the values. Then we were entering into the non-quantitative techniques. There are two types of non-quantitative technique: ranking method, classification and grading method. So now we will first going to discuss about ranking method. Ranking method is to rank the factors or things. So in this method, the job is an organization are assigned based on knowledge. It is what you assigning the work, you assigning the job according to the knowledge and skills, efforts and other job dimension associated with each job. So that is what related to the ranking method. You rank the skill, you rank the knowledge, you rank the each job dimensions. Now in ranking method also there were the techniques how you are going to rank them. So in ranking there were relative ranking. Relative ranking is what the key job is identified, all the key factors are jotted down and they are identified, and then worth is going to be determined. Then finally it is what the relative importance of each job is comparison with them and then rank them. So this is relative ranking. Define each factor and who have which job have this much in the more level, so rank them. Then in paired comparison method, in according to the factor, the key factor, each job is going to be compared. In the single factor ranking, what are the unique and essential factors of that particular job? That is most important factor of a job is to just to identify and compare with the most important factor. Now the grading method, which is job classification method. It's a second method in the non-quantitative technique. So in this method, job are classified and grade based on their significance and their worth. That means now we have to grade them. In the previous ranking method, we ranked them 1, 2, 3, 4. In this, we grade them according to their, again, worth, according to the skills and knowledge they are having. So grades are formulated on the nature of task, responsibility of a job. Now, what are the principles of job evaluation program? If we talk about the principles of job evaluation program, the very first principle is definition. That is, the job must be defined. The job must be clearly defined such that they are identifiable and easily distinguishable. Evaluation. A job evaluation scheme must be arrived upon and must be evaluated in a very proper sense. Job understanding. It is needs to have a deep insight into the job designing process and they must have a methodology understanding. Job understanding must be there. Concern must be there, that you show the concern related to job, that concern with the job and not with the person. It should be job concern. The assignments, it has to be carried out in a acceptable manner and by competent people. So it is assignment, assign the different task. Now this is what the whole process of job evaluation process. First we must have an objective of evaluation. When we have that evaluation, we come back to the job analysis. Now we will going to gather all the data to understand what are the job analysis at that time. On that job analysis, what are the job descriptions, what are the job specifications? After that, job evaluation program, how you are going to evaluate it, decide the method in it. Finally, the wage survey, conduct all the survey in the organization and then classify to the employee. So this is the job evaluation process. Now how we will going to improve the job evaluation? By choosing the with the help of different scheme, we can do that. The detail of the scheme should be drawn up in such a way that they do not conflict with others provisions. So the detail of the scheme must be there, and it should be on the introducing on the plant on the basis of the industry, whole industry. It is difficult to standardize the job throughout an industry. With the help of supervisor knowledge, give them full knowledge of the system, we can improve the job analysis. Or supervisors plays a very important role in that. So we can do that. Then whatever plan and system is selected for each group, there will be some fear on the part of the employee. So there must be a system to select them properly. Then essence of successful administration must be there. The flexible administration must be there, and with the better schemes of the administrator, so we can evaluate the job. So yes, there are few questions which you can do it by yourself. Explain the difference between job description and job specification. And second is, what is the job evaluation? What is the process of evaluation of the job? So yes, this is all about for the today's session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.